Hello, everyone. Welcome to Child Abuse Awareness with Darlene J. Clark. Be a part of the solution instead of part of the problem. Hope everyone's having a good day. Appreciate each one of you. We're out here to try to get the word out. So, without further ado, thank you so much for coming in here, Chris. Appreciate you. Everybody else who might be here as well, thank you. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is the use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips a balance in favor of fair use. I have this scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Anyone with information about these cases or other cases of child exploitation is asked to contact the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Child Exploitation, and Computer Crimes Unit at 404-270-8670 or report via the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children cyber tip line. It's scrolling at the bottom, the rest of it at cybertipline.org. Anonymous tips can also be submitted by calling 1-800. It's 597. Hope I say that right. Tips. All right, without further ado, let's get to other verses. Like, should we say Matthew 18, verse 6? But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. Wow, this is a one heck of a story here, y'all. You see where it says Operation Lights Out in Georgia arrested 19, included a Georgia politician, Carl Sprayberry. And then I wanted to look up the Sprayberry name because remember we heard Charles Rogers talking about that he went to Sprayberry School in Marietta, Georgia. So I was just coincidental wanted to look up the Sprayberry name, and yeah, the school is named after a Sprayberry as well. Um, I'm not saying these are kin to them, but it's a possibility. And here's another Sprayberry guy. He goes by Jeffrey Brian Sprayberry, but sometimes he goes by Brian Jeffrey Sprayberry. Without further ado, let me present the screen. Please hit the like button, a thumbs up. I appreciate it. Come in and say hello. I want to get over here. It's where I copied it right here. Okay, Operation Lights Out targets online sexual predators, leads to 19 arrests, including human trafficking charges. I hear the lightning. Come on, please, Lord, protect us while we're trying to get this. Don't let the power go out. This is Columbus, Georgia, April 28th, 2025. A 4-day proactive online undercover investigation coordinated by the Georgia Internet Crimes Against Children, ICAC, Task Force, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, and the Muscogee County Sheriff's Office resulted in the arrest of 19 people on numerous charges, including human trafficking charges. The operation, named Operation Lights Out, ran from April 24th to April 28th, 2025. The goal of Operation Lights Out was to identify persons who engage in sexually explicit communication with children on the internet, arrange to engage in a sex act with a child, and then travel to meet the child for the purpose of having sex. Additionally, the operation targeted those who are willing to exploit children by purchasing sex with a minor. Online child predators use social media sites, messaging apps, and websites on the internet to find children, begin conversations with them, introduce sexual content, and arrange a meeting with the child for the purpose of having sex. Boys and girls are both targeted by these predators. Y'all need to understand that. The following people were arrested and charged. Isael Alvarez, age 43, in Columbus, Georgia. His occupation is unknown. Charged with human trafficking and subject to an ICE detainer. Illegal, possibly. Marquise Anderson, age 37. I think it's supposed to be Steele. I'm not sure. I heard of Steele, but I hadn't heard of Seale. Alabama, occupation truck driver, charged with human trafficking. Darnell Burkes, age 40, of Box Springs, Georgia, occupation laborer, charged with human trafficking. Roger Burkes, age 62, of Columbus, Georgia, occupation aircraft inspector, charged with computer or electronic pornography and Child Exploitation Prevention Act of 2007. Javious Davenport, age 30, of LaGrange, Georgia, occupation forklift operator, charged with human trafficking. Kevin Edosomwan, age 38, of Atlanta, Georgia, occupation HVAC technician, charged with a computer or electronic pornography and Child Exploitation Prevention Act of 2007. They go into your home, these HVAC technicians. Please watch your kids. A lot of people let their kids go around the HVAC man and just kids curious. They want to watch, right? Don't go and do this at times because look at here, there's a little proof behind that, right? Jonathan Evans, age 46, in LaGrange, Georgia, occupation sanitation worker, charged with human trafficking. Yeah, we took the trash out by arresting this guy. I hope he stays in jail. Galvin, Latrell, Gordey, age 44, of Pittsview, Alabama, occupation sanitation worker, charged with human trafficking. Well, it's two sanitation workers. Thank you for getting the garbage out, right? Muhammed, Gwandu, age 68, of Ontario, Canada, occupation unknown, charged with human trafficking and subject to an ICE detainer. I'm gonna get rid of one of y'all of one of the people from Canada. Gonna get expelled to ICE. Let's hope and pray. It's gonna help y'all out by getting rid of one more, right? Gene Melner, age 37, of Palatine, Illinois, occupation truck driver, charged with human trafficking. Greggory Corbitt Meeks, age 45, of LaGrange, Georgia, occupation delivery driver, charged with human trafficking. Colton Lee McLamb, age 23, of Valley, Alabama, occupation forklift operator, charged with computer or electronic pornography and Child Exploitation Prevention Act of 2007. Zidarius Poole, age 21, of Columbus, Georgia, occupation unemployed, charged with computer or electronic pornography and Child Exploitation Prevention Act of 2007. Hunter Salmi, age 22, of Phenix City, Alabama, occupation mechanic, charged with computer or electronic pornography and Child Exploitation Prevention Act of 2007. Yeah, but y'all got to keep the people in jail. Come on. Marco Antonio Santos Chavez, age 30, of Fort Payne, Alabama, occupation painter, charged with human trafficking and subject to an ICE detainer. Anthony Seldon, age 34, of Columbus, Georgia, occupation janitor, charged with human trafficking fleeing and attempting to elude, reckless driving, and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Cameron Shelley, age 25, of Columbus, Georgia, occupation truck driver, charged with human trafficking. Gummock Chin, age 33, of Phenix City, Alabama, occupation engineer, charged with human trafficking. Carl Sprayberry, age 32, of Columbus, Georgia, occupation chef, charged with human trafficking. We'll get more into him in a few minutes, especially Carl Sprayberry. Additional charges and arrests may follow. Operation Lights Out took months of planning and involved the collaboration of 12 law enforcement agencies, consisting of local, state, and federal agencies that are part of the Georgia Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. The arrestees, ranging in age from 21 to 68, traveled from areas around Columbus, Georgia, with the intent to meet a child for sex. GBI digital forensic investigators were on hand during the operation to forensically process 21 electronic devices that were seized as evidence during the operation. During Operation Lights Out, undercover investigators posing as children had numerous exchanges with persons on various social media and internet platforms. During many of these exchanges, the subjects directed conversations with the child towards sex. 35 cases were established that met the threshold for arrest. 19 of these cases were concluded with arrest after the perpetrator attempted to meet the child in person. In some of these cases, the subject introduced obscene or lewd content, often exposing what the perpetrator thought was a child to pornography or requesting a child to produce and send sexual or pornographic images of them. About half of the exchanges involve websites used for dating, socializing, or even websites used for classified uh, advertisements. Although some websites promote themselves as being for adults only, it is not uncommon for law enforcement to work cases in which children access these sites, establish profiles, claiming to be older, and then find themselves vulnerable to victimization, harassment, blackmail, or assault. Several subjects were identified as communicating simultaneously with multiple investigators posing as minors. Such activity confirms what investigators uncovered conducting these types of investigations, that many predators specifically seek out minors on the internet to groom the children as potential victims for sexual contact. It takes collaboration and a team effort to protect the children in our community. Yes, we got to work together, people. Let's work together. Operation Lights Out was a proactive investigation. We, as law enforcement, were working in an undercover operation to stop predators. These same predators would have been targeting the children in this community. And they probably were getting by and targeting some as well. Not just the person they're talking to. I'm sure that there's other real kids that's been messing with. I want to make a plea with parents to closely monitor your children to ensure they are not communicating with these individuals, said Muscogee County Sheriff Greg Countryman. I like that last name, Countryman. These predators will travel from near and far to victimize your children. We take these crimes against children very seriously. It will be our focus to find these predators so they may be prosecuted to the full extent of the laws. How about going down to Cobb County and get some of these bigger bigwigs, like the people we have mentioned, right? 12 law enforcement agencies, all partners in the Georgia Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force, participated in Operation Lights Out. These agencies were Muskogee County Sheriff's Office, Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Child Exploitation and Computer Crimes Unit, Georgia Information and Shared Analysis Center, West Georgia Gang Task Force, Cherokee County Sheriff's Office, Jasper County Sheriff's Office. I'm not sure whether it's Jasper, Georgia or Jasper, Alabama, since there's some arrest that was in Jasper. I had a sister that lived in Colquitt, so that's the Georgia Colquitt County Sheriff's Office. Polk County Police Department, Homeland Security Investigations. Wow, United States Army Criminal Investigations Division. Wow. Gwinnett County Police Department, Forsyth County Sheriff's Office, United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, United States Secret Service. Wow, all these people were involved in helping catch it. The Georgia ICAC task force is comprised of 290 local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, other related criminal justice agencies, and prosecutors' offices. The Georgia ICAC Internet, that's the Internet Task Force, Crimes Against Children, managed by the GBI, is one of 61 such task forces in the United States. The mission of the ICAC task force, created by the U.S. Department of Justice, is to assist state and local law enforcement agencies in developing an effective response to technology facilitated child exploitation. This support encompasses forensic and investigative components, training and technical assistance, victim services, prevention, and community education. The ICAC program was developed in response to the increasing number of children and teenagers using the Internet, the proliferation of child sexual abuse material, and the heightened online activity by predators searching for unsupervised contact with underage victims. By helping state and local law enforcement agencies develop effective and sustainable, responses to online child victimization and child sexual abuse material. We need them caught. Oh, please. And your child might say, it's none of your business. It's my computer. You got to give me. No, they're a kid. They're a kid. You got to check their stuff, okay? You've got to check their stuff. There's so many parents that wish they would have checked their kids' stuff and the child was exploited and ended up committing suicide. The ICAC program delivers national resources at the local level. Any Georgia law enforcement agency wishing to join the Georgia ICAC task force is encouraged to contact the GBI's Child Exploitation and Computer Crimes Unit. Anyone with information about these cases or other cases of child exploitation is asked to contact the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, Child Exploitation and Computer Crimes Unit at 404-270-8870 or report via the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children cyber tip line at cybertipline.org. Anonymous tips can also be submitted by calling 1-800-597-TIPS, which is 8477, or go online at https://gbi.georgia.gov/submit-tips-online, or by downloading the See Something, Send Something mobile app. Thought it was See Something, Say Something. I may be wrong. And the special agent in charge is Brian Johnston at brian.johnston@gbi.georgia.gov. So let's go to the next thing. This right here is what we're going to, that Sprayberry that was arrested in the sting. A two-time Democratic candidate for the Georgia State House was arrested in connection with the sting operation targeting sexual predators and charged with human trafficking. The GBI said on Wednesday. Carl Sprayberry, a 32-year-old from Columbus, Georgia, previously ran for separate Georgia House seats currently held by Republicans, District 134 in 2020 and District 139 in 2024. He lost both races. And I'm not going to go ahead and read further down below this other article because I don't want this to be about a political issue. I want it to be about we banded together to help our children. The goal of the operation, dubbed Operation Lights Out, was to identify persons who engage in sexually explicit communication with children on the internet, arrange to engage in sex act with a child, and then travel to meet the child for the purposes of having sex. The GBI said the Bureau worked in tandem with the Georgia Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force and the Muscogee County Sheriff's Office on the operation. So this is also him right here, where it says that he put out a post on social media called for the assassination of President Donald Trump in a social media post. Been arrested as part of sweeping multi-agency child sex trafficking operation. Well, you make a threat against that. You don't need to get out of jail. You're already a dangerous person, sex trafficking, and then you call for people to murder somebody. Not good, man. We talked about Charles Rogers. He went to Sprayberry High School, and these two. It was named after a guy named Sprayberry. But these two Sprayberries, they lived over, I think it said over 100 something miles where Columbus, Georgia is versus Marietta. But look at this sex offender right here. I went ahead and searched, trying to find Sprayberry. So this guy was arrested in 2017. But look at his crime right here, y'all. See his offense? Child molestation. There we go. Another Sprayberry, child molestation. Oh boy, yes, people, we got to do something about it. And see, it says he goes by Brian Jeffrey Sprayberry, and also it says Brian Spurt, you know. So that's how he looks. Let me get it closer up. I don't know how long he's got to serve or whether he's out of jail by now, but when it said the view criminal record, it wanted me to pay. Okay, and I'm not gonna. One time when I did something like that, they went ahead and charged like 40 something dollars out of my bank account, which they're supposed to only charge a lot less than that at the time. So I'm not going to give them a chance to do that to me again. But here he is right here. Remember, we need to be hyper vigilant for our children. Thank you, everyone. I say God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Please share this. And if you look to the right, it's got the list of all the people who were arrested in that sting operation. Thank you so much. Operation Lights Out. All the people involved in doing this and catching these predators. But I hope that a lot of the bigger fish will get caught too. These attorneys, these lawyers, these um, judges, police officers, governors, senators, House of Representatives, anybody that harms a kid, they need gone. They need to be arrested for the crimes that they do. It's good to catch these smaller fry, but no, we need to delve in to more and to our government and get rid of these predators that's preying on our vulnerable children. Thank you so much. And getting away with it too and not getting arrested, okay? Thank y'all so much, and God bless y'all.